Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for this exclusive on-demand webinar. Today we're discussing how to overcome e-commerce packaging fails. I'm Tara Brzozowski, and I'll be your host for this webinar as we explore the ways the e-commerce supply chain is prompting brands to rethink their packaging strategies. It's no secret that e-commerce is steadily growing with no signs of stopping. We're all making more and more purchases online. But adapting to changes in consumer behavior and supply chain needs has come with plenty of challenges for brands and packagers. Joining us to provide some insights into e-commerce packaging opportunities is our special guest, Thomas Morsheimer from Freshlock. Tom has more than 20 years of experience in helping brands identify packaging solutions, and he actually presented on this very topic at Pack Expo in 2018. Tom, thanks for joining us. E-commerce is booming, and it doesn't appear to be slowing down. Almost every day, I see packages getting delivered or people talking about grocery delivery. Why is this?
Well, Tara, the trend you're seeing is really driven by technology. It is so easy for consumers to purchase just about anything with the click of a button. Smartphones, tablets, and voice-activated smart home systems allow consumers to shop from the comfort and convenience of their homes. Another key contributor is age and generation are no longer factors in online purchases for grocery shopping. In recent reports from FMI and Nielsen, 61% of millennials, 55% of Gen Xers, and 41% of baby boomers recently purchased a CPG product online.
It's an exciting time for consumers, but at the same time, I read that 20% of e-commerce product returns occur because a product arrives damaged. Is the packaging industry feeling these effects?
Yes, the packaging industry is definitely feeling the effects of damaged goods. E-commerce is a great opportunity for brands to grow, but if products don't show up to consumers' doorstep intact, consequences can be detrimental to brands. When a product shows up at a consumer's doorstep, it's the moment of truth. It is an emotional letdown for consumers when packages arrive damaged or difficult to open, further delaying access to the product, or worse yet, the product itself is damaged. When a product shows up at a consumer's doorstep, what does it look like? Was it impossible to open the protective packaging? Was the product damaged?
It's got to be frustrating for consumers. How do consumers respond?
It is extremely frustrating to consumers when products they purchase online don't live up to expectations. And packaging plays a key role in that moment of truth when packages arrive at the doorstep. In some cases, the consumer must initiate a return, which can be an inconvenient process that includes cleanup of any spilled product, repackaging the product, and arranging pickup when someone's home or drop it off at another location. Consumers may also provide feedback to merchants and brands through negative product reviews. This greatly affects others' decision-making when purchasing online. In fact, 97% of online shoppers say that customer reviews factor into their buying decision. They may even choose to buy another brand as a result of a bad experience.
So, who is paying for this?
Well, the brands are usually charged back from online retailers and must pay for damages to other products and the associated return shipping costs. The biggest cost to brands is the fact a consumer likely won't repurchase it again if they had a bad experience that causes frustration and wasted time.
So Tom, why are so many products and packages getting damaged?
Well, Tara, traditional primary packaging simply wasn't designed for e-commerce transportation. On average, there are 4 times more touch points in the e-commerce supply chain than traditional brick and mortar retail outlets. More touch points provides more opportunities for products and packaging to be damaged. As a result, companies are compelled to use more tertiary packaging like bubble wrap and packaging peanuts and air pillows to compensate. This over-packaging is still not fully protecting product and is frustrating to consumers. 31% of Americans complain that packaging creates a mess in their home. 47% feel that extra packaging is wasteful, and consumers are using things like hashtag packaging fails to share these frustrations with their social networks.
That frustration is certainly understandable, but let's talk about what is working. Is there a correlation between the growth of e-commerce sales and flexible packaging?
There's definitely a correlation. Demand for flexible packaging is up and will continue growing at an annual rate of 4.1% through 2022. At the same time, e-commerce is expected to grow to $4.8 billion by 2021. Flexible packaging continues to be a top performer in the e-commerce supply chain. It can flex and move naturally in shipping compared to rigid containers, In many cases, products that are packaged in flexibles can be more efficiently packaged in overboxes and will nest with other packages much easier than the same products using rigid formats.
Tom, what if your product lives in both the store shelf and it is purchased online? Should brands be designing their package for both channels, or should they be considering omnichannel packaging?
That's a great question, Tara. Omnichannel packaging is something every brand should be considering. It makes great sense and reduces on cost to have an omnichannel strategy where package formats are consistent regardless of the retail channel. However, packaging is not a one-size-fits-all solution. Brands should be investing the most time where they're experiencing growth. There will be times when it makes sense for brands to create different package formats depending on the channel. When this happens, your marketing, promotion, and presentation should be consistent across channels despite the packaging type. When the right package is utilized, brands and consumers will notice less waste and damage than what's currently being seen in the market.
That's interesting. You gave a presentation at last year's Pack Expo Innovation Stage where you discussed the transition from rigid to flexible packaging. What are the motivations besides e-commerce driving this change?
Well, brands are looking for more ways to stand out, differentiate, and offer more functional experiences to their customers. Flexible packaging features simply align with today's consumer needs. Easy to store, reseal, open, carry, and not to mention flexible packaging can extend shelf life.
So Tom, what are the reasons for this?
Well, here's a couple of the top reasons why we're seeing a shift to flexibles. Reduced production costs. Brand owners are continually evaluating ways to reduce costs. Another reason would be elevating the consumer experience. Value-added features such as zippers and sliders can be added to flexible packaging, enhancing the overall customer experience. Another reason would be the ability to fit consumer lifestyle trends. We're seeing a lot of the on-the-go lifestyle trends, and flexible packaging can really complement that lifestyle. Another major reason that we're seeing is reduced environmental impact, and this really looks to recyclability and sustainability. Many companies now have initiatives in place to reduce or almost completely move all their packaging formats into fully recyclable formats over the next 10 to 15 years. We can also see there's also value in shipping and transportation efficiencies.
That's interesting. I've noticed this in laundry and dish soap. The early adopters must have seen significant benefits for other brands to consider following suit. Can you give me some examples of markets that have made the transition?
Sure, Tara. And you mentioned laundry and dish detergent, and that's an area where there has been a transition, mainly because the product format itself has evolved over time. Traditionally, detergents were delivered either in powdered format or in liquid format, and always packaged in rigid containers. But now with the invention of the soluble unit dose, these products can be delivered in flexible packages now. FreshLock has also developed specialized zippers that improve packaging safety for these products.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. A few years ago, FreshLock developed what's called the Child Guard Slider System, which is a closure system when added to an appropriate film structure and put through third-party regulatory testing, can actually provide a child-resistant package for regulated products.
Wow, that's excellent, especially with the rise of flexible packaging. I could see some other industries interested in that innovation. What other ones potentially could use Child Guard?
Well, we're looking at a host of markets right now. I would say probably some of the front runners would be the pool chemical market for your chlorine tablets, things of that nature. We're also looking out into the future and looking at the potential use of Child Guard or another version of Child Guard in the pharma market.
All right. So beyond Child Guard, what are some of the other markets that are transitioning into flexible?
Well, powdered protein is one that I'd like to bring up. I mean, this is a market where you have products that were traditionally packaged in rigid containers, tubs and buckets and pails and jars, things of that nature. And in recent years, we've seen a huge transition into flexible packaging in this space. One of the key enablers for it to be able to transition is value-added features such as closures. Powdered protein is obviously very hygroscopic and reacts poorly to moisture when you're not making your protein shake. Something else that flexible does for that market is it makes the product portable. Many of these users are taking their products to the gym or wherever they work out, and it's much easier to transport a flexible package than it is a large rigid container. And when the product is fully dispensed, you've got a lot less packaging to dispose of at the end of the day.
I read your colleague Todd Moisling's article in Packaging Strategies on sustainable flexible packaging. It sounds like flexible packaging can be a solution for both e-commerce and sustainability. What are your thoughts?
Well, Tara, flexible packaging has always been a more sustainable solution over rigid formats. A couple of the key areas driving this are, first, transportation. Flexible materials are usually shipped either flat or on a roll. This allows many packages to be shipped on a truck, reducing the number of trucks needed for inbound materials compared to rigid packaging. This can also reduce the amount of weight needed when shipping finished goods outbound. Second, product-to-package ratio. Flexible packaging almost always has a higher product-to-package ratio than other packaging formats. And third, reduce materials to landfill. Flexibles are lighter in weight compared to other packaging formats. Some can even be recycled.
Are there other ways flexible packaging can reduce waste?
Certainly there are. Innovations in recyclable films and closures in the industry are also allowing brands to uncover total life cycle sustainability benefits as well.
What about value features?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. Value features like zippers or sliders can easily be added to flexible packaging to slow the process of food degradation that causes food to be tossed too soon, adding to the waste stream.
What are some of the steps that brands can take to ensure their products arrive safely at the consumer's doorstep?
Well, I think the most important thing is understand shipping protocols. Most large e-commerce retailers follow testing protocols from the International Safe Transit Association, otherwise known as ISTA. ISTA evaluates primary or secondary packaging's ability to withstand damage from forces and other environmental conditions. Testing includes drop tests, integrity tests for leaks, for liquid applications, vibration tests, all of the above. I would also encourage brands to learn frustration-free packaging. Frustration-free packaging is a 3-tiered system that's been put forth by many of the large online retailers. The first level is prep-free packaging. This removes the need to take a product and prep it for shipping out to customers. The second level would be ships in own container. This greatly reduces waste, and there's no additional prep required from shipping from the manufacturer to the customer. And the third would be frustration-free packaging, which is really the gold standard in the industry. This requires no prep, it's easy to open, there's minimal packaging, and the materials used are fully recyclable.
What's your advice for creating a primary package for e-commerce?
My advice would be to work with your packaging suppliers and partners. They will help you develop and test your packaging with the right intent from the start. Consider starting small. Product extensions are a great area to look at when looking at new formats moving from rigid into flexible. Are there premium or specialty product lines that you're currently developing? Stand-up pouches with reclosability offer a premium packaging experience that can help to create differentiation amongst your existing product line. Also, if you're looking to expand into new aisles, flexible packaging offers the ability for brands to extend into new types of products and more advanced display options.
Sounds like there's a lot of opportunities out there for brands. So tell me, why is FreshLock investing time in e-commerce solutions?
Well, it's our goal to help brands respond to today's consumer trends and create better experiences. Whether that means a package that can survive distribution, extending shelf life, or pouches that are easier to open, close, store, or carry on the go. We also want to align with sustainability and recyclability goals. This is a big area of interest in consumer packaged goods today.
Tom, do you have any closing thoughts for our listeners?
Well, Tara, I can tell you the growth and significance of e-commerce is challenging just about every aspect of packaging as we know it today. FreshLock is energized and excited to be part of this dynamic environment, and I don't think it would be an overstatement to characterize this period as anything less than a packaging renaissance in the retail market.
Well, it's clear that investing in the right e-commerce packaging solution is critical, and there's certainly a lot to consider. Tom, thank you so much for taking the time to explain. This has been a very eye-opening discussion. And thanks to all of you for your time. If you want to learn more about what we covered today, you'll find links to helpful content on this page. That includes articles on consumer expectations for e-commerce packaging, as well as the connection between e-commerce packaging and sustainability. And speaking of sustainability, don't miss our on-demand webinar on that topic featuring special guest Todd Moisling. If you have any questions about switching to flexible or finding closures for e-commerce packaging, there's a contact form below. We'd love to hear from you. For now, on behalf of Thomas Morsheimer, myself, and everyone at Freshlock, thanks for listening.